What's going on, guys? Heinzie here. I got the kangaroo generators going, and we're gonna do some rogue actions, and we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be sensational. How was it?
That was so good, man. I love it. That's it. Hey, the citizen application's coming your way. Guys, welcome to part two of Rogue Actions. I was mucking around on Cubs. I did my impression of him. He's done his impression of me.
No.
And yeah, both of them were epic fails. Maybe we just should, go back to the way we normally do things. Guys, if you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. Again, it just helps us grow this awesome channel. That's what it's all about. So thank you so much. You can catch both of us on Twitch, of course, as well. Cubs is streaming just about every day. I do every couple of days, US mornings, and then the Friday night Grizzly session with our boy Grid. You don't want to miss those. They're a heck of a lot of fun. But Cubs, thank you so much for joining us, dude. Always great to have you guys here. As always, and the Cubs fam are a bunch of stars, mate. It's how you going this time of year? We're preparing for obviously the holiday season.
Yep.
Getting a bit chilly there. Is it getting a bit fresh where you are? How's the
I
temperature
mean,
going?
chilly for me. I live in Arizona, and so chilly for us is like 50 degrees, 40 degrees, which in Australian is something like probably 15 to 20 degrees,
That's
somewhere around
plenty
there.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. No, that's great. Glad I asked that question. Silly question. Let's move right along, shall we? Guys, we've got three topics we're going to talk about here today. Very
Yes.
interesting topics. We've obviously covered a few others with Cubs. Again, if you want to see the other part of this video, the description is below. Just scroll down a bit. You'll see a little link. Click on that. Cubs videos there. You catch the other half. That's how it rolls. Now, let's get to it. We need to talk about, of course, challenge tier Rancor. Now,
Yes.
Cubs, we've completed it twice
Yep.
together now, which has been fantastic. Absolutely thrilled. I want to give a big shout out to my boys in ANZ GC Mandos for all working together to get it done. But I want to talk about these rewards, man. Now, the only reason I'm mentioning that is we obviously got the post from CG.
Yeah.
They told us that they were flattening the rewards off to make it pretty even and pretty fair. Um, I really disagree. I do. There's certainly, I don't see any change in the reward tiers to any of the other raids in the past, unless I'm missing something, Cubs.
Yeah.
I just find that anywhere below the top 10, you're basically getting, as we would say down here, stuff all. And it's certainly, I think that needs to be addressed. But Cubs, I'd love your opinion on it, certainly.
Yeah. So I want to talk to the PR guy who thought it was a good idea to say that we're going to flatten the rewards. I want to understand, like, yo, what was your literal logic in saying that? Because that's not what you did. And the narrative changes here quite a lot. If they don't say that, then we just look at it and we go on status quo. Rewards suck, unless you're at the top, and I hate that they do that. But instead, they literally called out the issue and then didn't address the issue. Now, if you do look at the rewards, I think you could probably see what kinds of things CG would point to say, see, look, we flattened it. Because I do believe the gear crates were you got better gear crates towards the middle, but it was slight. I compared it, and there was some difference there. There was some difference, but the biggest resource where you see the rub is on the new relic materials, which are anything but flat. I mean, it's on a freaking steep curve. It's on an exponential curve from 1 all the way up to 11 for first place. And so, look, I think CG's done a lot of great things recently, and so I try not to get too fired up about it because I'm really happy with a lot of things they've done. But this is absolute trash. This is not good.
Yeah. And again, it's something that I think it can be easily fixed. I mean, that's the thing. It's not something that's really difficult to change.
Yeah,
I think
why?
that
They're so stingy with raid rewards. I don't get it.
the top three positions are obviously entitled to the best rewards. That's obvious because that's the guys that have invested and they're very good at raids and they've got the right characters and the right teams and the right knowledge to complete the raid to maximum effect. And that's great because without these guys, we wouldn't be clearing that. And they totally deserve the top three spots. From number 4 to number 25, in my opinion, specifically with this raid where you have so much coordination and so many people needing to work together to
Uh-huh.
achieve a completion, I think that the top 25, apart from the top three, should be almost the same rewards, I think, in my mind. And then anything below that, I would understand, obviously, a drop in rewards because, again, I think that you have at least 25 people or even more than that that really need to put the hard yards in to complete it. Otherwise, you're just not going to get over the line. So that's my opinion anyway, Cubs. What do you think about maybe flattening it from 3 to 25? Or what are your thoughts? I'm curious,
I disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it a step further.
Mhm.
Sure, do the top three guys deserve it? Yeah, but does that mean that there's not 47 other people that deserve it? No. The thing
Mm.
is what if you're in a guild where everybody is willing to put in the work to be top three?
Yeah.
But not everybody can be top three. And so it's what I hate about the reward structure for raids is you benefit, like there's incentive in the game to go leave a more competitive guild for a less competitive guild so you can have a better crack at the top rewards. There's built-in incentive to be less competitive from a guild standpoint so that you can get better rewards. And you get duly punished for being in a more competitive guild because more people are going for it. And so if I have worked really hard on this game to get into a guild like Team Instinct or Shadowlands, or I mean, our guild's super competitive too, then I am punished for that effort
Yeah.
because I can't compete with, in one guild I could get 30 million damage and get first place every single time, and in our guild I get 30 million damage and I barely crack the top 20, and so it's to me they need to implement damage thresholds instead of sure, rank us within the guild, fine, but have the reward boxes contingent on specific damage thresholds that people get to so that you don't get penalized for going to a better guild. And if 30 people can earn first place rewards, give 30 people first place rewards. I really hate the reward structure for raids. I've always hated it. It does create friction within guilds. And frankly, it really bothers me that CG called out that friction that it creates in guilds and then didn't fix that friction one bit.
Yeah. We've had people leave our particular guild that are fantastic players, and they've left for the simple reason that, you know what, I can't get good rewards in this guild, and that's the only reason I'm leaving. Straight up.
Built-in incentive to not be in a good guild is
Correct.
stupid.
Correct. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Didn't want to leave. It said, I just can't continue in this way because it's actually affecting my progression for my roster.
Especially for
That's
free to
bizarre.
play players.
Yeah.
If you're free to play, low spending. I mean, I was just working on getting a guy. I talked to you about bringing in one of my best friends into our guild. And
Yep.
the sole reason we couldn't bring him over was because of raids. I mean,
Yep.
these guys that play very efficiently, they need to be in good raid positions, for
Yep.
that aren't spending very much. So I don't know. I
Absolutely.
hate it. It gets me riled up. But obviously, if they didn't change it this time, it's just the way it is. They're never going
Yeah.
to change it.
But just don't come out and say you're flattening it. It's simple. Just keep it as it is and don't tell us that because we expect, obviously, that things are going to be more consistent across the board. And when they're
Yeah.
not, well, obviously, unfortunately, you're going to be called out on that because why would we think any different? You're telling us that you flatten them off. So, anyway, it is what it is. Guys, comments below. Let us know what you think about the rewards. Do you like what you see? Do you not like what you see? How can it be fixed? And
Yeah.
and again, I'd love to hear what you guys think there. Now let's move on to the next topic, Cubs. Let's move down now. We got to give some love to our leaders and officers, guys. I'm sorry, this won't apply to everyone in this particular video, I know, but there are there's a group of unsung heroes in this game, and they are our leaders and officers. I'm not going to lie. Now, these guys put in a ridiculous amount of voluntary time, hours, and communication with all the members in their guilds for absolutely nothing. They
Yeah.
get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So I want to give a quick shout out to every single officer out there and every
Mm.
single leader. Guys, great job. Keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. There are people that notice what you do. So thank you because it makes our game even better and our guilds even better. Now, with that being said, actual officer tools in game are pretty archaic. They really are. They definitely need an improvement from a
Yeah.
a quality of life standpoint. Again, we've got we'd love to be able to measure failed combat waves and things like that in territory battles, etc. We'd like to know who does the drop battles in territory wars. mainly so we can help them so it doesn't keep happening more than anything else.
And
Not
so
to
we can
call
publicly
anyone out.
shame them.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm not a shaming kind of guy, not
I
myself, but
know.
I'd like
Just
to
like,
know so that we can go, "Hey guys, what happened? Okay, let's work
yeah.
on this, fix this. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again."
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But again, I know that certainly I think that this is just a quality of life thing we probably need after 5 years in this game now, as far as nothing's ever been done around these officer tools too much. And again, Cubs, I'd love your opinion on what you think should be done to improve them.
Yeah, and first of all, love the shout out to the officers. I know how much work goes into leading a guild. I used to lead a community of guilds, and a big reason why I'm in your guild right now is because I just want nothing to do with community leadership now. Is very very time consuming and stressful, and there's so much work that goes into it, and it's a very thankless job in a lot of cases. And so, just yes, I'm glad that you called that out. But yeah, the officer tools, they haven't been addressed for a long time. We had a quality of life update where they did add some officer tools, where, obviously they did some stuff with raids. They did some, the ability to add instructions in game and stuff like that. And that was seen as a massive leap forward at the time. And it's funny because it doesn't seem like it's adding nearly as much as it used to, because there's so many other things that we need. And so I would love them to take a look at officer tools and, from a quality of life perspective, the amount of coordination. Here's the thing, CG, you are the reason we need these officer tools, because you've given us these game modes that require a lot of coordination with the guild. And to have that coordination, the officers need a lot more information about who's doing what, when, and where. The officers need the ability to restrict certain things more. The officers need the ability to maybe make it a little more obvious what teams we're placing in specific zones for territory wars. Maybe the ability to even place those teams themselves. I know what Marvel Strike Force does for their version of territory war is people program their defenses, and then they can go, the officers, I believe, can go in and reorder things and change things around based on what somebody has programmed. I know DSA does something similar. And so there's a lot more, like, we need to modernize the officer tools here and give the officers a lot more power in the game to change things up so that they can implement a guild strategy effectively, because the communication tools in this game are pretty mediocre as well. And so I don't know, man. I that's another thing. You're bringing out these things that upset me about the game, but I really think we're long overdue for an update to officer ability in the game. So
They're certainly important. And guys, if you can't do all that, that's fine. Just give me an option
yeah.
to remove a team that's placed wrong in a territory war map would just be great. That would just be enough for me as a stopgap.
Yeah, why
Honestly,
is it that Territory Wars in Grand Arena is such a do or die scenario in the setup
yeah,
phase? As
if you
soon
put
as
the
you
wrong
place
one
a
in,
team, it's like you sign a blood oath. That's the team I'm using. Like, why? Why does it need to be so set in stone?
you can sign in and out of territory wars, no problem. It'd be great to be able to
Yeah.
remove it once you put it in. Just saying, if we can, it would be pretty handy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm getting called out as well. I'm sorry. We're live recording this on Twitch right now, guys. Getting called out for my shirt. What you can't tell is it looks like I got a low cut V-neck. It's not. It's actually my Luke Skywalker shirt. Let me just stand up a bit more on camera so you can see it. So I've got my farm boy Luke action going on. So that's the shirt, guys. I haven't got a low cut V-neck. I'm sorry. I just want to be clear because everyone thinks I've got the low cut going on right now. Well, let's move on to our last topic today, Cubs.
Can you wear a low cut V-neck next time though?
I
Because
can wear whatever you
I'm
want.
actually really disappointed it's not a low cut V-neck.
Be careful what you wish for, Cubs. Not gonna lie. Okay, let's move to the last topic. Last topic today, guys. A viewer's question now, guys. For those that don't know, we do ask a question every week from the
Yeah.
viewership out there, both in the description. Put your questions in the description as well. There's also a link to the Heinzie server down there as well, and there's a channel called Rogue Actions Topics. Put your questions in there. It's pretty simple. If it's a good question, we'll ask it. If it's a crap question, we won't ask it. It's that simple.
I love how you
right?
say that
So,
every time.
it's true. That's how it rolls. We call it out, we pick the best ones out, and
Yeah.
we go from there. So this is a question from someone that came up in our server. The Forced is his name, and he threw this question out there, which really piqued my interest.
Okay.
Would you rather Capital Games change all of the gear to permanent double drop levels,
Okay.
or introduce a new level of challenges, which include stun guns, stun cuffs, and chirotechs? Now that's a pretty cool question. I'd like
Definitely
to know-
double drop.
Double drops, you reckon, would be the go for you? You'd like the double drops?
The reason why is I don't trust CG to do new challenges. They love worthless gear and challenges, and so I mean the thing is they'd bring in maybe some Carbantes and they'd offset it with some Mark IV stun guns, and so I don't know. I don't trust them to do good challenges. I'd love them to. I'd love them to, but the thing about double drop gear is that's double the gear. Period. I mean,
True.
obviously, people say 2 times 0 is nothing, and yeah, I hear you. But if the drop rate stayed the same, then in theory we get double the gear. And so they said that they're going to look into this. This is something they said they're going to look into, and I'm waiting on pins and needles for what they're going to do because the gear crunch in this game is absolutely utterly trash. It's so bad. And it's been bad for a long time, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. I mean, the more characters come out, the more requirements for so much extra gear.
Yeah,
The quicker they bring them out, we definitely need some way to improve our gear farming. After 5 years in this game, it's just time for a refresh. Absolutely, because it's just going to get further and further and further away. Even for new players as well, they need a way to farm these characters up a lot quicker. By
yeah,
having more gear at your disposal, you're going to farm those guys up as well. So again, it's a simplistic view, but I do agree. I think if we can increase to double drop level consistently, I'd be certainly quite happy with that.
yeah,
It's a logical option out of the two, certainly. So again, really fantastic questions. So guys, keep those questions coming. Again, love your opinion in the description below. And again, ask your questions in the description or go to the server and ask them there as well. It's a heck of a lot of fun. So Cubs, we're going to finish this one up today again, mate. It's been fantastic. Again, we're a few days out from the holiday period.
yep,
For those that do, like myself, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a very, very safe break. I hope you're all well. Obviously, there's a lot of very, very difficult challenges going on around the world
yeah,
right now, specifically in the US and obviously in Europe as well. So my love goes out to you guys. I hope you stay nice and safe. You know what you need to do. Wash your hands and all that sort of stuff. Just behave yourselves. Do what you need to do to stay safe, please, because we all want you to get on top of this sooner rather
yeah.
than later. So, Cubs, anything you want to add before we wind this up, brother?
No, it's good. I like your message, and happy holidays to everyone. I hope everyone has a great time with their families this holiday season, and whatever holiday it is you celebrate. I hope you guys get some good time with family, and just remember that that's what at the end of the day that's what really matters.
Sounds great. Could not agree more. And also smashing that red button. That's super important as well. Don't forget that. Give us some thumbs up as well. And we will obviously keep bringing these videos to you. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care. See you soon. Bye, guys. Mwah!
Mwah!